Well, what a good and pleasant way. I'd like to welcome you to KMTV. This is the closing argument on KMTV. We are also live on Hot FM 107.9. We are live in Bombing County on Pumat FM 106.3. So, not to waste much of the time as the show have already started late. So, we move strictly to the guys in the US to begin with the show. Chairman, good evening.
Hey, again, we are back. Let's try to see what's going on. You guys apologize for this. These things have a way of happening. It's technology. You never know, so we hopefully this time everything is set up. Can we bring Keff and Dr. Peabody on and the rest of the guys? Let's just bring them on so that we don't have to. Dr. Peabody, can you hear me clearly?
Very clear, very clear. If you can hear me too.
Okay, good. Good. I think we're good. I think we're good now. We're just waiting for Tomalin and Jackie to join. Guys, it's good to be here. We have a very fascinating show today with Madam Telia Urey. T and I, like I said earlier, one of the sharpest, smartest uh, young women, a potential strong leader that is coming up within our politics, and not even just politics. Business. T is a trailblazer. I mean, I'm a testament, and I know the work she has done and that she continues to do. Obviously, she ran for office, wasn't successful, but like I said, she has not, sunk her head in the sand. She has continued to push forward, and she's doing a lot of great things. Now she is currently the vice chair for political affairs for her political party, for the All Liberian Party. Obviously, she's a fierce and a strong supporter of Vice President Joseph Boakai for the presidency. So she's national chairperson of the JMB Tact team. So, Kev, I was saying earlier, today is going to be JMB Tact Team's Day because we have a guest panelist in Meapeh Gono. Meapeh is also a member of the tag team. Then you got Jackie, who is a member of the tag team. So we're gonna be tagged today. It's gonna be three powerful women who are going to be making the case here today, I believe, for JMB. We're going to have a discussion about national issues. We're going to talk about the VP sticks. We're going to also talk about what the tag team is about. What are they doing? What impact have they made? And we're going to go into all of that conversation. So I don't know what your initial thoughts are, but again, we want to apologize to our many viewers out there. We had some technical difficulties in the beginning of the show that required us to restart the entire show. But we encourage you to please share the show and get the word out there for more people to go ahead and follow. We appreciate you and we thank you for your support. So, Kev, you want to come in, and then Dr. Peabody can also chime in here.
Okay, yeah, again, another show, another day. Hi to everybody. We had a little technical issue, but we are back. Yeah, Ben, for me, and I really don't know what the tag team is about. Maybe they will tell us more since they announced the tag team and Telia. I think she's the head, and you have Steven Johnson and other people tag team, but I've not heard anything or see anything they are doing. So she will explain to us, and we will know what the tag team is about. Because I'm not seeing any movement, nothing moving from the GMB side. Nothing. I'm not seeing them kind of like uh, bringing people to register. Kind of rally the troops.
Mhm.
I'm not sure if that's what the tag team is about, but they will explain. But again, let me say, Tilia is a brilliant young lady, well spoken, uh, carry herself well. Uh, I think she's one of Liberia's brightest. So we'll hear from her.
Thank you for that. Dr. Peabody, you want to go ahead and chime in here on T?
Yeah, once again, it's good to be back. Wednesday. Good to see all you guys. The tag team, Tina Urey is one of the finest writers I've seen when it comes to emerging in the Liberian politics. I watched her the last election when she ran to be a representative. She comport herself in the midst of the challenges. I remember watching live when she was attacked and was almost killed. But I remember how she came back really, really strong. She was very strong. She still went out there, even though the election was a difficult atmosphere on which she ran, the attack and the threat. But she came up and she graciously accepted the election. But I can tell you that she's a very smart young lady. Looking forward to them talking about the Tact team. I don't know what the Tact team is. I don't know what they do and what their impact is or what the difference they have made so far. But I mean, having a person like Telia, is always good to have her on. I really admire that young lady and how far she has come and how she's progressing gradually in the Liberian politics. So I'm looking forward to hear from her and to see exactly what's been going on. I want to know what's been going on with her the last 6, 7 months or so.
Thank you. Yeah, I want to encourage everybody to please, again, we did have a technical issue in the beginning, so there was a glitch there, but please share the show, and so that we can get many people to join us and listen to us. There is before T comes, and just for information purposes, she will be joining us very soon. She's running a little late. I think she's stuck in traffic somewhere. Tomalin, I think, as you saw, is already in the studio there. They're trying to get him set up. He's in Monrovia. Tomalin, do you have me up here with you? Is she there with you? Is she going to be
Yes,
joining us today?
I
Okay.
have here this powerful progressive political firebrand. Um,
Okay. So I was telling Kev, I was warning him that today is JMB Tag Teams Day. So he might as well, if he probably should just log off, or he should stay on. He can decide which one would be good for him, because I don't think and they're all female. They're all powerful female. Jackie, obviously our own Jackie, is a member of the Tact team. Then you have Meapeh, and then you have Telia, who is the national chairperson. So we're looking forward to having a very, very effective conversation today, and we want to encourage everybody to continue to share the show. I think the numbers are growing as we speak. There was this technical glitch.
Recognize our guest as well. A lot of
Yo, what?
to recognize our guest, our panel. I mean, not the panelists, but our viewers.
Oh, sure. Yeah, we can go ahead and do that. You can go ahead. Let's do that. Let's do that. And then while we wait for T, and Meapeh will be joining us as guest panelist. And once they set her up, I want to start a conversation with Meapeh. Let's talk about contemporary Liberian politics before T joined us, because I did get a message. I telling you are right. You did get a message from T that she was going to be joining us a little late. But yeah, Dr. Peabody, you want to go ahead and recognize some of our folks, and let's take it from
Yeah,
there.
just a few people. I see John Sarr. He's watching from Sierra Leone. Robert Kedie. Mohammed Dolly. Isa Dolly. Vapor 29. Thomas Thomas Floss Senior. Thomas Floss Senior. Musuwa Cooper from all the way Australia. Winifred Smith, our sister. Uh, uh, Ambassador Emmanuel Balo from Liberia. John Kadi. Jonathan B. Williams. Paco Rabar. Melvin Dr. Howard. Buster Yonis. Gina Williams. Bobby Nathaniel. Mark Colette. Somado. Isaiah Masale. And Ahmed Giflo. Oh, yes.
Thank,
Patient Simba. Blamo Doma.
thank you, and yeah, and many more will be joining us. Many more will be joining us. We want to thank all of you. And like I said, as we get ready, there's a lot happening in the political space. We'll revert to Tomalin since he's on the ground. Let him tell us what he's hearing. Hopefully, we'll get Jackie on very soon. I hope Jackie is not taking the day off because her national chairperson is coming by. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I think she will be here very soon. But Tommy, you want to come in? There's a lot happening on the ground. I mean, my phone was buzzing this morning uh, about possible announcement coming very soon from JMB on this vice presidential pick. And then there's, I think President we have made some appointments in government today. There's a bunch of stuff happening. There's the ticker under the live there, so you can get a chance to see some of the things that are happening in the country also. So, Tommy, do you want to go ahead and chime in with some of the news that you are hearing and what what you are hearing from your end until we get Meapeh to come on the screen? Tommy, can you hear me? I don't think he can hear us. Tommy George, can you hear us?
I don't think so. I think his
Okay.
mic is muted. He's
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
studio.
yeah, yeah. Patience, what are you talking about? We start at 12:30. You are hearing and what you are hearing from your end until
Sure.
we get Meapeh to come on the screen.
So you guys can hear me, right? You hear me?
Yeah. Yes, we can hear you. You hear me?
Yeah, you guys hear me?
I don't think
Yes.
you can hear us.
You guys hearing me?
Tommy George, can you hear us?
You hear me? I'm hearing you guys loud and clear. You hear me?
There's a delay. There's a delay.
I think his
Okay.
mic is.
They have to log out and come back in.
He's
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
studio.
yeah, yeah. And Patience, we start at 12:30. You are hearing what you're hearing. Yeah.
Sure.
So come Studio, can you take Tommy out and bring him back in, please? We'll start because this is please. Dr. Peabody, there was a lot of news going on today regarding the VP picks, right? There's a lot of news going on about who's Joe Boyka is going to be picking. I think that is probably the most anticipated news so far. Everybody wants to know who Vice President Joe Boyka is going to be picking. People are interested in hearing what Mr. Cummings is going to do also, but you have to give it to Vice President Boyka. There is renewed energy. Dr. Peabody will be coming on, I'm sure. Kev, what are your thoughts? What are you hearing? And when do you think this announcement is coming up? There goes T. Okay, good. She's on. T, it's good to see you. Can you hear us?
Okay, sorry, I was muted. Hello, Ben. It's good to see you as well. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I almost want to Meapeh with you live on the radio and live on air, but I will keep it for the back because I don't remember. But anyway, it's good to see you. When I wash our dirty laundry in public, there's no reason to do that. But it's good to see you and welcome. We're looking forward to you having those tea. Okay, good. She's on. T, it's good to see you. Tommy and having a back, having a reason.
Okay, sorry, I was muted. Hello, Ben. It's good to see you as well. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I almost want to Meapeh with you live on the radio and live on air, but I will keep it for the back because I don't remember. But anyway, it's good to. Yeah, T. Sorry, we're having some technical issues today, but welcome, T. How are you? First of all, how are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. It's so good to see you. So good to see Dr. Peabody, Kev. Really nice to be on here today.
Yeah,
And
yeah, we're
Tomalin too,
excited.
but he's not on right now.
Yeah, he's gonna be coming on. He's gonna be coming on. I think they're having some little technical issue with the studio there in Hot FM. But you were with him the other day. We saw the pictures. You guys were having a good time. Somebody actually called me today. Let me just put it out there. Somebody called me today and said, oh, there's a Tomalin Finney endorsing Joe Boyka because they saw him hanging out with T there. I said, oh my God. I mean, can we not just take pictures and be friends? And why it gotta always be, somebody endorsing somebody or somebody not endorsing somebody? But anyway, it was just a joke. The person laughed about it.
Well, I will say that we're actively trying to recruit Tomalin to join us. So the person is
My God.
not too far off. Actively and aggressively trying to recruit Tomalin to join us.
That is so you see that a woman job, guys. That's a woman job. But T, first of all, congratulations. Vice Chair for Political Affairs, All Iberian Party, National Chairperson, JMB Tact team, strong supporter of the former Vice President, businesswoman extraordinaire. I can proudly say that because I know you and I know what you've done. And how does it feel though to just be in this space? I mean, you have a lot of history, and I don't want to dive into some of the negativity, but I think it's a part of your story, right? You ran for office, had a very, lost that race narrowly. I mean, I think everybody knows the story about that race. But I just want you to give us a little gist of how far you've come and why are you not running again? Because everybody I think thought that you were going to run again. Is there a reason why you made a decision not to run again?
Thank you, Ben. And I just want to start by saying a big congratulations to you all on the closing argument. I think this is a show that I feel at home on. You've spoken a little bit about our relationship, how far back we've gone, basically grew up in your hands in a way. And Tomalin, Dr. Peabody as well are two people that I've known for a very long time, who I respect a lot and who I'm very, very comfortable with and honored to be with on the show today. Keff, I feel like I know you, but we haven't really met before. But I show you used to being alone on your one side, so it's nice to finally see you and be on this show for the first time. So yeah, Ben, I think right now, at where I am, like you said, the vice chair of political affairs and the chair of JMB TAC team. How do I feel? I feel honored and very privileged to be in these positions to serve. Honored that I was selected, and elected to be in these positions by people who I have a lot of respect for and people who expect a lot out of me. It's a serious task that we're faced with right now. Going into elections this year, I always say that all of us have to have our feet on the ground, be deeply, deeply, integrated into what is going on the ground as well. So I find myself, carrying a lot, but proudly and happily doing so. Like you said, the past election in 2019 was a very difficult one for me. You know that, the violence and, going through the courts and, everything that happened in the past election. But I think all of those things made me stronger, made me more resilient, and, made me more ready to face the bigger challenges that we have ahead of us. On the issue of whether I'm running or not, I'm sure you know that I've been out of the country in Nigeria for about 2 years now. You said the past election in 2019. I'm hearing a little bit of
Yeah,
feedback
it's
in the
coming in.
back.
It's coming in. Yeah, I think they just
Okay.
they just went off. So they're yeah.
Yeah. So I've been out of the country in and out for about 2 years now, staying in Nigeria, working on some projects over there. So I'm back now, and I have not made the decision on whether I'm running or not. I'm having
Okay.
consultations and meetings with my teams and my supporters in the district, and very soon I'll be making an announcement on whether I'm going to run or not. Right now, I'm just, you know, having discussions
Wow.
and having consultations with my team. So when I do make the announcement, Ben, you'll be one of the first people to
So,
know.
so, I'm excited because at least the door is not closed. Because listen, I've always said to you, I said to you in the past that I thought you should give it another shot. And this is not good news for Keff Hassan because he's somebody who has been seriously encouraging me to discourage you from running because he doesn't want you to beat Abu. And I told him, I said I will do my best to encourage you to run. So I'm excited that you said that you're keeping your option open and like you said, we're family, so we'll talk that one. But Dr. Peabody, Keff Hassan, let's get into this thing. We've spent enough time already. We've been having some technical issues, so let's get into this thing. Jackie is joining. Jackie, it's good to see you. Your national cheerleader is here. I told Kev already today is JMB Tag Team Day, so he should just be careful what he say. He doesn't want to get you don't want to put your foot in your mouth, Kev. Please, these women, they're gonna tackle you today. But it's good to see you guys. Um, let's talk about the JMB tag team. What are you guys doing? I know you are an auxiliary. How are you working with the party? And where are you right now as far as the tag team is concerned? What are you guys doing right now to push JMB's bid? And then from there we'll go to Dr. Peabody, Kev, and then Jackie will come in.
So, Ben, when you say that the JMB tag team is an auxiliary, I think you have it a little bit wrong in a way. The JMB tag team is not an auxiliary of any political party. The JMB political backgrounds or no political backgrounds that have come together to push the JMB agenda. And we work in different areas. One of them is public relations. We have a very strong media team that kind of works behind the scenes to promote JMB, to handle press conferences, to handle social media accounts that promote JMB and the JMB agenda. So that's on the public relations side. We also do active mobilization. We have structures across all 15 counties. Um, Specifically now, we've been doing a lot of focusing on Montserrado. So if you go across Montserrado right now, you will see that the tag team has structures in every single community in Montserrado as the biggest county in Liberia. We decided to put a lot of effort into Montserrado. However, we do finance and fundraising as well. And then lastly, one of our key objectives are to mobilize first-time voters. So I see you showing videos. I believe that's a video from the University Student Commissioning Program. We have cells
Mhm.
established in university the universities across Montserrado and outside of Montserrado. And the goal is to mobilize university students to serve as ambassadors for the JMB movement in their communities. So university students are recruited, they're mobilized, and then they go back into their communities and mobilize and recruit high school students. So those are the key areas that we're focused in on the mobilization side. We also have a policy team, which Sis Jackie here is a part of. And that policy team has been working with the Unity Party to develop policy documents and policy positions to strengthen the JMB's policies before and hopefully when we go into government, strengthen all of his work that he plans to do there. So those are the key areas that the tag team works in. As I said, we are not an auxiliary, and we plan to make it that way so that everybody feels comfortable. People from Liberty Party, people from Unity Party, people who are not even members of any party can feel comfortable joining the tag team and working with us towards our common agenda. So,
All
in
right.
summary, that is what the tag team is.
Thank you. Thank you for that. And thank you for the correction. Dr. Peabody, you want to come in with your question on the tag team, and then we'll go to Kev, and then Jackie will kind of ask.
Ilya, it's so good to see you. Always good to see you. Been a while, but it's good to see you again. And I tell you, if you run again, I would support you. I'll come run your campaign like Vera, because I think we need people like you in that house. We need people who will bring some real change in that house, and I think you will do an excellent job. But it's good to see you, and welcome to the closing argument. But let me ask you about the tag team. What have been your level of success at this moment? Because I don't want to say a lot of people don't know about it. I know about the tag team, but a lot. I was just in Liberia about 3 weeks to 4 weeks ago, but I didn't hear a lot when it came to the tag team. So, what have been your level of success so far?
Well, I think when you look at political institutions and I would say civil society organizations to a certain extent, one of the key things that are integral um, for the organization is to have the structure,
I
to
think
be
she need
able
to
to
turn her
PJ, 1 second,
yeah,
please.
there you
Okay, go ahead. I think they're really having a problem over there. But go ahead. Yeah, go ahead now.
They
yeah.
draw from the
So
phone. They may have to draw
I
from
think
the.
one of the key things that any political institution or, like I said, civil society organization should have is an ability to reach the voters and reach the people that you're targeting. Many of you are members of political parties, and you understand that sometimes there's a break in reach and communication between the national body and the day-to-day citizens that are out there. So what we decided to do is not be an organization that is so centralized. We wanted to be able to have an organization that will reach to people, whether it's people in the diaspora or whether it's people at the community level across the country. That is key for us. So one of our successes is that the tag team is one of the most organized and structured institutions I can say in the country right now, meaning you can find members of the tag team at all levels of the geographical landscape. So it's I think that is one of our main successes, to be able to be represented at the community level, to be able to be represented in the diaspora, to be able to be represented across universities in a very organized way. That's one of our major successes that I am very proud of, because it's one thing to be an organization, but it's another thing to have an organization that has trackable and traceable members and a clear structure that will get you to the people that you're targeting. So I think that is very key. The second thing I will say is very important is
she's stuck.
Yeah, she'll be back.
support
I'm sure.
of His Excellency Joseph Boyka. That has been very, very.
There's a lot of rain going on in Liberia.
Yeah, but yeah, hopefully we'll get her back. It's good. Yeah, I think she's, and Jackie, welcome. We
Thank you.
definitely today has started being a little tough We had a thing where the thing was freezing and then it was coming back on. But technology. That's how it is sometimes. But let me say this: you are a member of the tag team, and Dr. Peabody struck a good point about, and I want to just listening to what T is saying. I'm looking at it from the angle of it being, you guys have a strategy, right? It's not just about the it's not just about mobilization, it's also about policy, right? Because she mentioned that you are on the policy side of things also. When she gets back, one
There
of the
she is.
things, okay, good, she's back. So,
She's my
yeah. Can you hear us?
I cannot
Okay, T,
hear.
can you hear us? Okay, we can hear you, but can you hear us now? Is it much better? Oh, Lord.
It's raining heavily in Monrovia.
internet.
So, so you got an internet issue down there.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Problem.
hopefully she will
I
get
don't know.
back.
Matter of fact, there was a
Hopefully she.
delay on Brussels Airlines
But
to
one thing I
Liberia
wanted to
because of
say though, I'm surprised. No, I'm not surprised, but I am excited because I think she will. I'm excited that she said she has not ruled out running. Yeah. T, can you hear us? Is it much better now?
I can hear you all
Okay,
much
good.
better now. I think I got cut off
Yeah.
in the middle of my, and so I'm not sure
Yes.
what was heard and what wasn't heard.
Yeah. You were right to where you were saying that the role I think Vice President Boca was is playing, or something making it easier for you guys, or something like that. That's where I heard you when you called his name. That's where you stopped. So,
Cool. Um, so I believe I was talking about the university students or the
university. Yeah.
structuring,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
So essentially, I want to be able to have such a strong network of students from across the country coming together under JMB. Um, JMB tag team to support His Excellency Joseph Boyka. So, you see people who are supporting political parties, or who are just silent supporters of Joseph Boyka and not a part or affiliated with any party. We've given them the opportunity to have an independent organization that they can channel their support for J. I think that is also very key.
Okay. Kev, you want to come in, and then Jackie.
yeah. T, how are you? Um, I don't know where I will find myself because I ran away from another opposition show and come back to another opposition show. I don't know. Always on the opposition show. But let me ask you this, Tilia. Who financing your tag team, and how many members do you have in your tag team? How large, how big is your tag team that will be all over the country?
Well, I mean, a lot of different supporters pool their resources together to support the tag team. The tag team is not sponsored by one person. So we have a lot of members that contribute to the tag team from the diaspora and from right here in Liberia. They support the work that we do, and we're able to carry out activities based with the resources that they provide to us. In terms of our membership, I will say from the online recruitment process that we embarked on about 8 months ago, we have about 24,000 plus members that have been recruited through the website. So we have a website that we launched, and people from in Liberia, from in the States, have been able to fill up a simple membership form, and once that's filled out, we gave those forms to the call center, which is located at the ALP headquarters. And that call center now got a lot of those members to recruit more people to come on board. So each person recruit five, and that was done several rounds to get us to where we are today. After that was done, we now broke all of these people down to district, organized them by district. So it was a general mobilization and recruitment exercise.
Oh, the internet is just.
Yeah, the internet in Liberia.
Is it still raining in Liberia?
Yeah, well, raining. Brussels had to stay a few minutes in Freetown.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah.
let's see if you can hear us.
It seemed like it's a lot of echo in the back.
Yeah, is it? Let's see. Hear us?
Tiffany, you can hear us?
Tommy, can you hear us?
I hear you guys loud and clear. You guys can hear me?
Okay, we can hear you now. We can hear you. Meapeh, can you hear us? Yeah, Tommy seems to
She
be
gone.
fine right now. So, yeah.
Yes, Ben.
Yeah,
She has echo in her, her mic.
Yeah. Somebody need to use their phone though.
Yeah. Oh God. Okay. Well.
Oh, they need to mute. One person needs to mute on
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's
until the
probably
other
why
person speaks.
because they're in close
Yeah, they need
proximity.
to
So
mute.
Yeah, until it's time for
Yeah.
the other person to talk. That'll be the best thing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I mean, I'm enjoying the show. I'm enjoying Telia on her deliberation here, and the internet is killing us. I think I'm enjoying
Yeah.
the
So Jack,
deliberation.
pick up from where she stopped. You tell us what. I mean, I'm shocked. She said 24. You guys have 24,000 people just through the website. And then there is a ripple effect, right? Of each one bringing five, or doing the. So it's almost like each one bring one or bring two, a kind of a strategy. What have been, and she talked about you being on the policy side of things. What are you guys developing policies for possible governance? Is that what it's about? And then how are you guys tying it in? How are you guys tying it in with the party itself? Because, like you said, you are not an auxiliary of the party.
Actually, we develop policies on different thematic areas, health, education, the economy, you name it. So we put the policies together, and what we do is that we present it to the GNB, to the Unity Party. That's what we did. So we work along with the Unity Party to help design policies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Well, that makes sense. Okay. So for me, I think for me, I think it's interesting because at the end of the day, we what I'm getting from her is this is kind of like a boost to the presidential bid, and what is fascinating, and this is a question that I want to ask, right? Because there is this tendency where, because there's a lot of young people, and a lot of young people that I know and I respect that are part of this tag team. Stephen Johnson, Telia, I mean, there's a bunch of young ton. There's a lot of young people and so one of the questions that I wanted to ask her, and maybe I will ask you this too, is there's this thing about why JMB. He ran in 2017. He didn't win. Why not rally around a younger candidate or somebody who is more in line with this generation of leaders? Why him and not somebody else? And then take into consideration that they were in, the Unity Party was in the CPP and then left. So maybe I should ask you that, and then let's expand and wait until she comes in.
why JNB?
Yeah,
Is that what you're
just
asking? Why is the tag team supporting JNB?
yeah. I mean, like I
Well,
said,
it's
there's a
very
bunch of Go ahead. Sorry.
Young people supporting. Yeah, and that's the beauty of the tag team. You have people from various backgrounds, ages, gender, balance, female, male. So that's the whole beauty of the tag team. And you have people from all over, not just in Liberia. You got tag team members in the diaspora, regardless of their political affiliation. So you have people from various political background as well. JMB, obviously, given his experience, his background, he is the right person right now for the job to become our next president. And that's why we are rallying around him to make sure that he becomes the next president of Liberia.
So it was her I was talking to. There is a huge storm. She said there is a storm right now,
Can she
and I think
call
the
in,
internet.
though?
Yeah,
Can she
so
call in?
she's gonna try again. She's gonna try again. If she doesn't, if we can't get her in by the internet, then maybe we may do a call in or something like that. But she's saying there is this huge storm going on right now, in the country.
Wow. Yeah, we in April, right?
Yep.
It's
So guys, yeah.
April, rainy season has started.
Okay, she's back. So Kev, man, y'all need to fix the internet business, man.
She's frozen.
She's back now. Feel like you can
T,
hear us.
yeah, we can see her. We can hear.
I see her moving, so maybe. Yeah.
Can you hear us? Oh my god.
Maybe we can just have her photo and then she just call in.
That'll work.
No, let's switch. Come on.
Kev, you need to come in the middle of your screen. You're a little. Uh-huh. Yeah, we need to. This internet thing is not a joke. I mean, you know. Can you hear us, T? Yeah. All right. Unfortunately, we are having technical issues, so we want to apologize to our many listeners. We understand there's a storm right now in the country. So
Ben, can you tell her to just call in?
yeah, I will send her a message to see if she can. They're calling me. Meapeh, can you hear us though? Can you test to see if you can hear us? Can you hear us though? No, we can't hear her. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Well, such is the time. This is what's happening. We want to again apologize to our many viewers, supporters, listeners. We have Miss Telia Urey, but there is internet issues going on in Liberia. Hopefully, we can hear her now. T, can you hear us now? Hmm. Mimi, can you hear us? They seem to not be able to hear us. So I don't know, guys. What do you recommend? Should we just probably call
Well,
on call?
just
Okay, T is
just
much
keep
better now.
trying.
T, can you hear us now?
I can hear you
Okay,
now.
good, good.
Wonderful.
Thank God, thank God. Hopefully, we're gonna try to see if we can get a lot in. While we have you, so T, I was asking, and this is the second round of questions, and I wanted to then we'll go straight into just the whole thing about the politics and where we are. Right, there is this. The tag team is very well stacked with. Can you hear us? Oh God,
She's frozen again.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, this is not
I
this is
can
not good. Okay.
hear you now. I could hear you. I can
Okay.
hear you now, but the line is bad, very bad.
So it's okay. So no, I was asking Jackie. There are people. There's a lot of young people on this tag team. A lot of young people who I respect. Know you, Stephen Johnson. I mean, I can name. There's a whole list of names that I can go on with, right? And there is always this question about why JMB? He ran in 2017. Obviously, he is, he's not from our generation, right? Why JMB and not someone else? Why not a younger candidate? Why all of you who are young, smart supporters? And this is a legitimate question, because the reason I'm asking is I want you to get a chance to explain to the people why do you believe that JMB is the one to get us from where we are to where we need to go?
Thank you. That's a great question, Ben. And I think it's very important when we look at where we're going right now. I think that one of the main reasons that all of us gravitate towards JMB is because when you look at JMB and his over 30 years of being a public servant, he's proven to be someone that has integrity, that has dignity, and he'll be able to restore the dignity to the presidency of Liberia right now. I also believe that JMB is someone that has vision to transform Liberia. His experience is one thing, and using that experience that he has to change the trajectory that the country is going in right now, JMB is the obvious choice. Now, going into elections also, Ben, you have to look around you to see which candidate actually has the ability to win. So you go a little bit beyond looking only for a president and looking for who the best candidate is. And JMB's widespread support across the country makes him an obvious choice and a realistic choice of a person that can actually win the election. So
Mhm.
that is also a critical factor that we cannot pretend does not exist. So that's it on one end, but his ability to bring people together, to unite people from across the political spectrum is very important. His disposition as a humble and servant leader after all of these years in office is something that we all look at and we all believe that Liberia needs. We have to restore the confidence as well of our international partners, who, as we know, that confidence has kind of been eroded with this current administration. JMB is a person that has the credibility to be able to do that. He also, I believe, has the ability to attract much needed foreign direct investments into Liberia, especially in labor intensive sectors. And that is key. We're not talking politics anymore. We're looking for somebody who has a plan to get us from where we are to where we need to go. And it's not rocket science, Ben. You all know this. We've seen other countries who have developed overnight. The Asian tigers, for example, while Liberia still lingers here, not being able to do the just the most minimal things, strengthening our institutions, increasing transparency, making sure that our judicial system is one that people can have confidence in. These are things that someone with integrity and someone with character will have to take strong decisions to do. And we believe that looking at JMB, he's the only person that can create that environment for Liberia to get on the path that it needs to go on. So I think those are the key areas for me on why we support Joseph Yuma Boyka.
Okay, thank you. And let me just we're gonna dive into this VP sticks VP thing, right? And then the rest of the questions can come from there. And then you guys can we can just spice it up and have a very frank and great conversation. T, do you as chairperson of the TAC team, Do you believe Vice President Joe Barker should pick someone, a young person, for his vice president? Obviously, let's be fair. Let's put the cards on the table. There are three names that we have been hearing since we have been doing our investigation. All of the things we've been hearing, we've made a commitment on this platform to highlight the veep sticks until he and Mr. Cummings make their decision, at least for the two of them right now. There's the talk about Henry Costa, our own friend and brother. He's like a brother. He's a part of your party. He. By the way, Henry gave a great speech. I think a day or two ago, regard on this neck thing. I mean, he looked very vice presidential. I sent him a message and I was like, "Damn, man, you. I mean, are you getting coach or something? Do you have some foreign anointing? I won't pass it by her. She probably got some people that are working on imaging with Costa, right? But do you believe that Vice President Joe Buckeye should pick someone young as his vice president, and not just young from the perspective of just age, right? But someone who resonates with this generation of leaders, someone who literally can take the baton. And then, like I said, there's Costa, there is Yombikanga Lawrence, and then there is Jeremiah Kuhn. Those are the three names that we are hearing. What are your thoughts on the vice presidential picks? And then everybody else can come in. Peabody, you can jump in.
Yeah, Ben, you going left and right, and you want to ask the question. You want to ask a question, but you're not really asking the question. So, I will answer the question for you. I
I want to ask,
do
right?
believe I do believe in Henry Pedro Costa, and I do believe that Henry Pedro Costa would make an excellent choice for a VP candidate. And I do believe that choosing Henry Costa as a vice presidential candidate will not be a mistake. Let's look at the political landscape that we're in right now, Ben. Who understands the issues? Who has the level of connection to Liberia, to the issues Liberia is faced with than Henry Pedro Costa? When you look at all of the other choices out there for vice presidential candidates and even presidential candidates, so to speak, Costa understands the issue. I think Costa also has a clear understanding and vision for the pathway that Liberia should take to get it on the track that it needs to get to go on. I also think that none of us can dispute Henry Costa's level of patriotism, how honest he is, how much of an ability that he has to bring people together. Costa stands for what he believes in. He's not somebody that shakes. I don't think any of us have any doubt about the fact that Costa can represent Liberia in Liberia and abroad. Nobody doubts his courage, and nobody doubts his loyalty to the country and his loyalty to Joseph Yuma Boyka and his support for Joseph Yuma Boyka. So I do think Costa makes an excellent vice presidential candidate and even presidential candidate when you look at all of the candidates out there. Now, going into the issue of who His Excellency is going to pick, that is his prerogative. That he will pick who he believes that is best. So he has a whole group of candidates that he has to select from. We're not going to take placard around and hold protests for him to select Henry Costa as a VP. But we understand and we will never shy away from who Henry Costa is and what he brings to the table to any political movement. This is a young man who has risen up as far as he has risen up through hard work, through honesty, through courage. And he is a pride to young people. So while he may not be perfect, I don't think any of us are perfect. Costa is someone that has my respect, he has my support, and I always will want to see him rise. And I know that whether or not he becomes vice presidential candidate to Joseph Yuma Boyka, he is going to be a true political success story in Liberia. I hope that answers your question, Ben.
Wow, wow. Listen, this girl, anyway, it's okay. Let the rest of the guys come in because she took it out of, she said, I will answer the question that you want asked that you won't ask. But it's okay, T. And I think you laid it out well. I think you laid it out well for him. I have been very consistent on this platform and I said it. I find it very offensive. And I'll state for the record, right? Everybody know I'm not a supporter of the vice president. But I find it very offensive that when people say Henry Costa should not even be considered, I have said, and I will continue to say this. I know the work and I know the passion that this young man has for Vice President Joe Buckeye. When you're looking for a vice president, you look for a loyal one. You look for a fighter. So for people to even have the audacity to say, well, he shouldn't even be considered, I found it very offensive. And I found it as just unfortunate because at the end of the day, you don't box people in because you have a difference of opinion about who they are, right? But having said that,
And
let Dr. Peabody come in and Keff Hassan come
I
in.
just
We'll
want
go
to
ahead.
just I just want to add to what you just said, Benjamin. But the truth is, we're in a society that sometimes people feel that if it can't be them, it should not be anybody at all. So
True.
we're all making a lot of noise for youth empowerment, for youth representation at the highest level. But at the same time, one of our strongest youth in the country, people speaking is youthful, like you said. And yes, I believe His Excellency needs a youthful candidate. I also do not know a youthful candidate that has the ability to bring people together like Henry Pedro Costa. Costa, no matter what you want to say about him, he brings people together. He's a uniting figure, and he's someone that has his hands all over across networks. So just it's just sometimes the society that we find ourselves in. The same people that will want him to get up and talk for JMB, support JMB, do all of the things for JMB will be the same people that will, when it's time for him to excel, will be the ones to pull him down. But that's the society that we live in. Luckily, that has never stopped him. If he was somebody that was listening to the noise in the market, by now he would not be the Henry Pedro Costa that he is today. So that's just it.
You know,
Dr.
uh,
Peabody, come in, please.
seeing Telia Urey in the House of Representatives and then seeing Henry Costa as the vice president, we're gonna make some strong log, I guess. But Telia, you spoke up right there. I also, I think Costa has worked hard. He's a young man. There were the saying that this young man was not educated, or he came to the U.S. He got his bachelor, got his master's, and he was able to bring a lot of influence back to our country. In fact, I watched him yesterday, talking like a real VP. But let me ask you this question: what's about those on the other side, the part of the CPP or the UP that are saying that this could bring an division within your party? That if Costa is elected, some are saying they've been in the party longer, and Costa just came in and all of that. But I've seen the work he put in. I mean, when Joe Buckeye comes to the U.S. or he's doing fundraiser, this may have worked very hard. But coming from you on the Tact team, what are others saying about this election process, especially with my namesake Henry Costa? Because I think anyone the vice president pick is his choice. That's his prerogative. That's who he wants because he's going to be working with them if he wins the election. I don't think, but this other side in your party that are now beginning
Well,
to
you
go
see,
around
when I
and bring.
was coming on this show today, Dr. Peabody, told them clearly, first title is the vice chair for political affairs of the All Liberian Party. I'm also a member of.
Oh God.
All right, a good conversation, and
Yeah,
it turned
man,
that into.
we get into the juicy part of the
Let hear
conversation.
Jackie. Yeah, let's hear Jackie put on this. Let hear something for Jackie. She's on that tag team too.
Look, and like I said, and Jackie, you can come in here. Look, I believe this is the decision, and I see people. There's some people who I know and have a lot of respect for that have a difference of opinion on this. I still maintain this is not Henry Costa is not going to force his way on a ticket. This is going to be Joe Boycott's decision. This is the vice president's decision. People don't run to be vice president. They don't, right? There's a reason why the Constitution is clear. You pick your vice president. You go ahead and you pick your vice president. So all of the people who are getting upset that this man is even being considered, that is where I have a problem. Like, how do you disenfranchise somebody because you have a difference of opinion about how they see things? I think it is wrong. Well, Costa is good to defend the Unity Party, to defend JMB. I would likely say about 60 or 70% of Costa political enemies that he got is because of his support for Joseph Boyka. That is a fact. Everybody knows that. So that T is back. So let T come in. I don't. This is
Yeah.
virtual. So let her come in. T, go ahead. You were saying that when you were coming on the show, you were telling you were saying something. Oh my God, she's gone back again.
Maybe we should get her on the phone because people are following this conversation.
Yeah, hopefully she will come. She will come right back. If she doesn't, if she doesn't come, but yeah, Jackie, come in, and give your point here.
Well, there's no question that Henry Costa has been there. He's been advocating for JMB on his show. Like Telia said, when he travels to the States, he's there. And he's always been an advocate. Likewise, like I said the last time, all the candidates who are on the short list, I have seen criticism about all of them, on all of them, Senator Lawrence, Henry Costa, and even Kuhn. So people are there advocating and lobbying for their person of their choice. So it's not just Henry who is getting a backlash. I have seen even in some chat rooms, even on the social media, where people are saying, "Oh no, it cannot be Jeremiah Kuhn." And I have seen some people who say, "Oh no, yeah, it shouldn't be Senator Lawrence for so and so reason," mainly because of the friction that is within Liberty Party. So people are saying no, not Jeremiah Kuhn because of his affiliation with Senator Johnson, Prince Johnson. So people are there. It is right now where people are pulling teeth and in a boxing ring. And there will be people for Henry Costa. There will be people for Senator Lawrence. There will be people for Senator Kuhn. And even people are throwing in other names. Right now, I'm looking at the feed and I see people advocating already for Madam Urey to be picked as VP to JMB. I'm seeing it on the feed, on the live feed right now. So
Yeah.
this is a boxing ring right now.
So listen, guys,
What
I
is
have T on the phone. I have her on the phone. I think this is much better. Okay, T, can you mute yourself? Let's try.
okay?
T, can you hear us? Okay, good. I'm gonna
But
try to
she's
see if we
low.
can.
The volume is
Go ahead.
low.
Can you say something so we can hear you?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Is she clear? Can you guys hear her?
That's okay. A little better.
Okay. I'm gonna try to T. Go ahead. Continue speaking, and then I will try to get a speaker or something and see if I can put it up to so it can be louder.
Okay. So I will just answer the question that Dr. Peabody asked me. He asked me a question about how people feel about Henry Costa being very new and him being chosen as if he was selected as the VP, how would that make people feel? And I was saying before I got cut off that let's not look at Henry Costa as an individual. When I sent my name here, I sent my name for this interview as the Vice Political Affairs of all Liberian parties. Henry Costa is a founding, eminent member of the All Liberian Party. He has been with us. He has been with ALP from the day ALP was registered as a political party. ALP has supported His Excellency from 2017 up till today. We have not withered in our support for His Excellency, our political leader, our chairman of our party, Chairman Theodore Momo. They have been one of the strongest, I would say, supporters party-wise of the Unity Party and His Excellency Ambassador Joseph Yuma Boyka. So when you look at selecting your political ally,
50%. Connected to. Connected to. Thanks, Matt, but
Her sound is gone again.
many strong individuals, ALP has a political base, and ALP is a party that cannot be overlooked in the political landscape of Liberia, as all of you all know. So when you're saying that Henry Costa should be looked at and it would be something to make people angry, I don't think so. I think that it is Henry Costa is an obvious choice to be considered as a VP candidate. ALP is obvious and committed partner to His Excellency Mr. Party. Therefore, a selection of anybody from ALP, with the leader of the ALP, is not out of line or is not anything that should anger anybody. So on that basis, Dr. Kiba, I don't think that's an issue with this when it comes to that. Now, on the other, His Excellency may have his reasons for selecting or not selecting Henry Pedro Costa or anybody from ALP, and that is up to him. That is right. Like I said before, we're not going to be holding folks on the street demonstrating for VP election for ALP, and we believe and we respect whatever decision His Excellency makes.
Thank you, T. Can you guys hear me clearly? I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Peabody, you muted.
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Can you guys hear me clearly?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. I want to make sure because I have a speaker that I connected, so it was kind of confusing to me. But okay, T, thank you. Let Keff Hassan come in. Keff Hassan, you go ahead with your question for Telia, and then we'll go to Jackie.
Well, Telia broke news here that it seems like the ALP, which is from Costa Party, in this to push Costa as a running mate to GMB. I will say this. I believe in loyalty. I do. And I believe that Costa put in everything, his sweat and blood, to resurrect GMB. He did that. Nobody else. And that's a fact. People can challenge that. That's a fact. He did that. He did everything. I went to war with Costa so many times to defend JMB. He defended JMB. I think if anybody been given that job or JMB select anybody other than Costa, I would think, in my view, it would be the biggest betrayal in politics in Liberia, the biggest betrayal. because you
But
need
Kev, let me ask you a question. Let me interrupt. Kev, I want to interrupt you. Does it lend fact? So why do you want JMB to pick Costa? Do you want him to pick Costa?
I'm not in JMB shoes. I will not decide for JMB, but I believe
Kev,
in
I'm
loyalty.
surprised that you.
I believe in loyalty, because how can you pick somebody
Are
who
you speaking as a citizen or are you speaking as a regular person?
I'm not speaking as a sedition. I'm not speaking as government supporter.
Oh, I
I'm
just want to
speaking
make
as
sure because
I'm speaking as the closing argument panelists. And let's pick the truth, because y'all know Costa and I went back and forth on because he defended JMB. Y'all know that. So let's speak, the truth. But let me tell you, if I'm going to speak from the point of view, or from a party point of view, or my point of view, I don't want to deal with Costa. I don't want to deal with Costa. Give me the rest of them. Seriously, give me them. I don't want to deal with Costa. That's a fact. I don't want to battle in Monserrato. Give me the rest of them.
okay.
But
Do you
people
have a
don't.
question for me?
So let me
Okay.
say this.
I
See,
enjoy.
at this moment, where it seems like your party coming from, your party is going to stick behind. If JMB, your position, your party position.
T, did you hear the question?
I heard I didn't hear him clearly. Can you repeat what he said?
Kev, what was your question? What was your question again?
If JMB doesn't choose Costa, what would
Oh,
be your party?
if JMB does not choose, if JMB doesn't happen to pick Henry Costa, what would be the
Yeah,
ALP's position?
what would be your position?
The ALP is not supporting His Excellency based on a selection for vice president. If that was the case, we would have waited to endorse him after the vice presidential candidate. We see that happening a lot around him. People want to wait to see what they can get out of the process before they come on board to endorse him. And that's not just for the vice presidential seat, but to see what is in it for them in general. The AAP from the beginning has stood behind His Excellency. That is not going to change. We're not here for a position. We're not here for VP, ministerial, or any of those positions. We're here to make sure that Jacob is rescued, that we have stable leadership, that we have a leader that will restore the dignity to the presidency that has been lost, and we'll have a leader that will set the country on the right developmental path. So it's on that basis that we're supporting JMB. So whoever he selects for his JMB and for his VP candidate, he will have our full and unflinching support.
Thank you, T. Jackie, give her a chance more. Jackie, give her a chance. This conversation is really juicy.
I want to
No,
get
go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, if JMB
come in.
Yeah.
Jackie makes struck a very important point where she said that
Yeah, but Jackie,
even the other candidate,
will sit down.
Peabody, let Kev ask quickly.
Because Jackie is so small.
No, I wanted to hear what Dr. Peabody was saying.
Yeah, you can text me that.
What I'm saying is you made a very strong point here that even the other candidate, people have something to say about them as well. So it's not just Mr. Costa that people are talking to. I believe Costa have worked he bucks off to be what
Right.
he is now. If he's on the list, I think he
Right.
worked. I can't use the other word, but he worked hard to be what he is. And I mean, he's strong, and he should be seen like that. Anyway, I think he worked very hard. He can do the job. He can be a vice president. He can also do the job. I mean, I believe that, but I think it's just anybody he like, people will talk about. So that's why I wanted to
All right.
chime in there.
Keff Hassan, you got a quick question, please? Come in so T can
Yeah,
hear you.
Tilly, I hope she can hear us because it seems like she's struggling to get us.
Can you hear us?
But
T, is it much better?
Yeah, I can hear. Please put the phone a little bit closer to the speaker so I can hear that.
Okay, good. Go ahead. Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead, Kev.
you can hear us now. Can you hear us clear?
I can.
Good.
Yes, I can.
Okay. Okay. Let me ask you this: if JMB choose Yombly or JMB choose Jeremiah Kuhn, will you support that ticket?
Call for him.
Oh, Tomalin, stop calling.
Youngly, I will support that
No,
ticket.
come on.
I keep hearing the name Jeremiah Kuhn being thrown around, and I don't know Jeremiah Kuhn. I've heard of him from when he was a representative, and then he became senator recently. I don't know him to be. I don't know him to be a member of the opposition, but I don't know much about him. Now, if JMB chooses him, of course, we will have to support whoever JMB chooses. But I have been around, I would say, a bit, but I haven't heard about Kuhn, or I don't know much about Kuhn.
Okay, thank you.
That's just
So T.
Ben, let's stay there. She been around. She attacked him. She's saying she haven't heard about Jeremiah Kuhn's in the corridor of JMB team. That's what you're saying, T. You haven't heard Jeremiah Kuhn's name around as possible VP pick.
I didn't hear his name around recently. So his name started to float around, I think, a few weeks ago or a month ago. But in terms of
now,
for the past years that we've been working, I haven't heard of him. So I haven't done much to, study the individual or know what his stances have been over the past years politically, where he's been leaning, who his political allies are. I don't know those things about him because he's not been someone of interest, I would say, to me. Now, why I made that distinction is simply because you put him in the same category as Senator Yombly Kanga Lawrence. Senator Yombly Kanga Lawrence is one of our leaders. Senator Yombly Kanga Lawrence is somebody that we have worked with over the years, that has been in the gap with us, I would say. So with her, I have to make that statement that definitely, of course, I believe in Senator Lawrence. I believe that she's somebody that can lead. I know her.
So
Jeremiah Kuhn, I do not know him. Notwithstanding, as I said, whoever JMB decides to select as the vice president, we have enough respect for him. We have enough trust in him to know that his selection will be in line with everything that he stood for and everything that we stand for as well. That is that collective ideology that ties us together, which is in the interest.
Call for him. KULALA.
As his vice presidential candidate, he will do so with the interest of Liberia being the core. I know him, and that's why I trust him, and I know that he will make the right decision to move our country forward.
So T, let me ask you a question. You part of when you pick a vice president, part of that because of how rigorous the process is, right? Because of how contentious sometimes the process get. You can clearly see here that there is a lot of tension with this process right now. One of the fundamental responsibilities, or one of the fundamental things that whoever gets picked will have to do, is to be able to bring the whole thing together, the whole camp together, right? Take into consideration, have you gotten, I'm hearing you making commitments here. I'm hearing you say whoever the vice president picks, you believe that you're gonna stick with him. I want to go as far as saying you believe that the ALP will stick with him, right? Have you gotten similar commitment from the other partners in this conversation, whether it's Jeremiah Cohn or Senator Lawrence or all the other people who are being considered? Have you guys gotten that same commitment?
So what I would say is this: when if I were to speak for people, I would speak based on my interactions with them and what I think them do in the past and their level of commitment to this cause. Okay, the ALP will stand with excellency and the Unity Party, despite who he picks to be his vice presidential candidate. We understand that only one can be vice president, so somebody would be unhappy, disappointed about their pick. Senator Lawrence, as well, has shown herself and proven to be someone that has direction, that has a certain level of leadership capacity and a certain level of support for His Excellency. So based on what I have seen her do and my relationship with her, so that I know of her, I believe that she will stick with Joseph Boyka. I'm not that she has said that to me. I'm just saying that I know her and the key members of her party, or at least her side of the party, and I know what their commitment is to Ambassador Boyka. On
Thank
the
you.
Coon side,
Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
I do not know what Senator Coon stands for. I don't know where he stood before. I don't know his commitment to Ambassador Boyka, but there may be a lot of things that I will not personally.
Well, he supported. Okay, so but let's, for information, he supported Joe Boyka in 2017. Let us provide that information to you.
There you have it. So, like I said, there are things that I don't know. So I won't be able to say what he will do or what he will not do if he's not selected. But when you look at the country right now and look at the political dynamics, His Excellency's path to victory is almost clear. So I think that it would be the wise thing for all of us to rally around him, using our individual and collective strength and institutions to deliver the change that we all fought for in 2017. And we have already seen what the level of damage that has come in the past 5-6 years. And if Senator Coon is those who stand for change, I don't see any reason why he will go against Ambassador Boyka, the Boykas, Henry Costa, or Senator Lincoln Lawrence. I don't see why he would do that if he actually believes in change and if he actually believes in JMB.
Thank you, Telia. Jackie, you want to come in here? Because we seem like we're not kick you out of the whole process. You muted, Jackie. We can't hear you.
No, what I'm saying is that I am enjoying the conversation. I'm enjoying my cheerleader. She's saying a lot, and there's not much for me to say right now, because she has said a lot of valid points. Like she said, there's only one person who can occupy the seat at one time, and our stand-up bearer has developed over the years a very, very strong relationship and ties with people who who he's considering. And so there are people who are for this person, for that person, for the other person. And like I said, right now all is fair in love and in war. We are in a boxing ring now. So people advocating for Costa will advocate for him, rightfully so, because he has been there as well. Senator Lawrence, like what my chair lady just said, she has been there as well. So whosoever our standard bearer picks, the relationship with the other people that he has built, established that very, very strong relationship, I don't think, I think it's going to remain intact, regardless
Yeah.
of who he picks, because only one person can occupy that seat at a time. And it doesn't mean that he's no longer loyal to the other people or that he loves the other people any less, the other possible picks any less. That relationship is there, is strong, is proven, is been tested, and is not going to change.
Thank you, Jackie. Thank you so much. T, let's talk about, and listen, we're having a fascinating conversation here. Madam Telia Urey, she's on the phone because there's some internet issues going on in Liberia. Vice Chair for Political Affairs, All Liberian Party. National Chairperson, JMB Tact team. Again, like I call her, a trailblazer. T, by the way, let me state something here before we go into this other conversation. I was very proud of you. I think the Vice President unveiled a painting the other day of prominent women. There were about 50 or 100 of them, and you were on there, and so I just want to say congratulations. I think it's in the museum, actually. It's in the National Museum. Ironically, your picture is right next to President George Weah's picture, by the way. So Kev pointed that out to me. He said I should say that that your picture is right next to the president picture. So, but let me say this, T. I want to ask you this question. Let's talk about some numbers, right? You are strategist. You've ran for office before. You've been involved in plenty campaigns, right? What about the argument that Costa is not bringing anything in regards to numbers? Jeremiah Cohen is bringing Nimba. Yombli Kanga Lawrence is bringing the Bassa belt. What about that argument? What is the ALP's argument on the issue of numbers when it comes to Henry Costa?
Okay, so Ben, one thing that you will know, I remember my first campaign strategy book, you gave it to me, How to Win an Election.
True.
And from over 10 years ago until now, we participated in elections, not only in Liberia, but in other West African countries. And when it comes to the number argument, Henry Costa, you have a lot of political actors across the globe who partake in elections for the first time and win elections. When you're talking about the numbers argument, you're only speaking from the perspective of looking in the room of people who have participated in elections on that scale before. So that would be maybe senatorial elections for people who hold counties, and presidential elections for people who have won in a presidential election before. But you know very well, people participate in politics and elections in their processes for the first time, and they come out victorious. Donald Trump is one of those people. You could have argued that he had no base, he had no numbers, but he proved that with name recognition and effective campaigning, you can mobilize a level of support within some segment of the population. But you know very well, people name recognition, which is the first step in galvanizing support. You will not find between counties in Liberia. So you and their support for Henry Pedro Costa. He has not run for national office, so you cannot quantify it. But I'm very sure from all of the surveys that we have done, it shows that one, he has name recognition, two, he has likability with certain segments of the population. Let's forget about our political elite, I would like to say. I'm talking about the average person, the average voter who needs to recognize somebody, and then that person is able to communicate with them to be able to galvanize their support, to be able to win elections. So the number argument, yes, is an argument if looking at historical electioneering processes or that have happened in the past. But when it comes to building a formidable case around somebody who is already a political actor and somebody who is able to effectively communicate, somebody who has stood the ground and already is liked through a strong, a large segment of people, that Costa is very well positioned to do that. Now, I'm not here to do the campaigning for Henry Costa. I'm just trying to explain that in politics, to mobilize people around a certain ideology, idea, or person. And that would be what Costa would have to do if he's elected as a vice presidential candidate. Can he do it? Of course.
Ben, we can't hear you.
Do all around. So indeed, I believe that the numbers argument is there, but that's not the whole picture. There are other things that you need to be factored in when you're looking at somebody who has not participated in an election of this magnitude before.
Thank you for that. Peabody, Keff, you want to come in?
Yeah. Taylor, let me ask you a question. But by the way, Ben, Tomalin wants you to bring Meapeh Gono on to the phone. But Taylor, let me ask you this question.
Because I have T on my line, so he have to call somebody else. Yeah, because T is on the phone. Yeah.
All right. Just on Monday, one of the member of the Unity Party, a very strong member of the Unity Party, former Senator Balut, was on the show, and he said that he's leading a campaign to engage Mr. Cummins and to engage Vice President Bwaka, but then to make a team. He said here that the only team that could really win an election in Liberia from the opposition is Alexander Cummins and Joe Bwaka team. How will you respond to him?
Well, I think that Senator Balut, his efforts come from a good place. I think he genuinely wants to see what a lot of us have wanted to see over the years, hence our involvement into the whole opposition collaboration arrangement. So I think his intentions are very well placed. And the situation is actually very embarrassing, because it's something, this whole issue could have been discussed and resolved in-house. But, we are where we are today. I believe that the calls may be a bit belated. Like they say, the ship kind of left the port. The ANC is actually, I think it's embarrassing for the ANC because they have had this position from the beginning that it's not on the table. There is no way that the political leader of ANC can ever be vice president to His Excellency because of whatever reasons that they had. Forget the collective good of all of us that was supposed to be working towards certain goal. So we're here now. You saw, everybody saw what happened, the insults, the criminal activities that also occurred during that whole CPP process that led to us going to court. And we are where we are today. Do I want to see the opposition working together? Yes. Do I believe that Mr. Cummings could be a good vice presidential candidate for His Excellency? He's already shown that he cannot. He's shown that he's not a team player. He's shown that he doesn't even have a level of respect for his fellow opposition leaders and members. And he's had the disrespect that he can do it alone. So I think that while the Balu's efforts are good, I don't think that that is what Mr. Cummings and them have ever wanted. What they do want, and I think it's also very late. Now, can we look at coming together and have a pact that if Mr. Cummings goes to the second round and we don't go to the second round, we support him? I think that would be a good thing. Or if we go to the second round and he doesn't go to the second round, he supports us, I think that would be very good, and that would be more in line with where we're going. But then again, it just raises a lot of questions, because in 2017 we saw what happened. He did not take a side. The ANC said that they could not make a decision. While some of us were angry with my brother Ben and them for going on the other side, at least they take the side. And other people did not take a side. So it would be good to start those conversations, not get commitment. That when we do get to that point, we will stand together. And then maybe from 2020 and on, we can start looking at all coming together from a place of trust, from a place of working together collaboratively, not just on the basis of the two of us together will protest so that the two people can come together and we become president, when we know that that relationship does not exist and there's no trust there.
I will disagree with you here on this, because the case went to court. It was thrown out. It means that it was no case. Mr. Cummings stayed in the CPP. He did not leave the CPP. He stayed there. It was the Unity Party and some other party that left the CPP and went on. And he's still willing to work. He did not leave the party like that, because it was a bogus case that was thrown out against Mr. Cummings. Don't you think you guys would have stayed together, worked together? Or has Mr. Barker ever engaged Mr. Cummings? Hey, man, I want us to work together. You be my vice president. I mean, why you say that? He's not a team player. When he stayed in the party, y'all left. He stayed.
So you see, Reverend Peabody, when I got onto this call, this live show today, one of the first things I said was that we need a leader that will bring integrity back to the judiciary. The same person who was questioned today, who was the person that was prosecuted, today now you're saying that the case was thrown out. So I can't really comment on that, because, you know, we all know what happened there. We all know that the case was compromised. If he decided that he wanted to stay in CPP, when the terms in which we decided to go into CPP with were criminally changed and they stayed there, that's good for them. I'm not going to go into that, Dr. Peabody, because we know what happened. So if it worked for them, it didn't work for us. We went out, they stayed in, they made it clear that they don't want to work with us. They don't believe that they can be, that the company can be VP to Ambassador Boyka. I'm just speaking to Senator Balu's issue now. Keep protesting for them to come together. I'm saying that they say they don't get up.
So let me.
That's all I.
So T, I want to ask you a question. Follow up to what Peabody said, and we can with some because we're looking at the time, so we have a little bit of time left. This notion that and I hear what you're saying when it comes to this issue of Senator Balu asking for Mr. Cummings to be the vice president. But I've always stated, and I think you also stated here, Jess, and that that the ALP is not going to be holding placards and asking for the vice presidency. Why is it? Don't you guys think, and especially you? I mean, just based on what you were saying, don't you think it's a little unfair for you to say that Mr. Cummings should have said that he wanted to be vice president? My thought process here is if VP Buckeye wants Mr. Cummings to be his vice president, he would have reached out to Mr. Cummings like he's doing right now, right? All of the people who he is looking to make his vice president, he's going to make that decision. He's going to call them. None of them can go to him and say, I won't be vice president. He's going to pick up the phone. Whenever he makes that decision, he's going to say, I have made a determination that you will be my vice president. The reason I'm asking this question is there has been this thing about Mr. Cummings has always said he's not interested in being vice president. Given he did say that. You can't take that away from that's not a lie. He has said that. But what about the argument that Chairman Billington made the other day? I heard the Secretary General of the Liberty Party make it the other day that if there have not been any outreach from VP Buckeye to Mr. Cummings that he wants for Mr. Cummings to be his vice president. Do you know of any outreach that he has made? And my last question here is, if VP Buckeye, for some reason, something happens, right? Decides tomorrow that he wants to pick up the phone and call Mr. Cummings to be his vice president, will the ALP support that ticket?
Ben, so the first thing you're saying that Mr. Cummings said that he doesn't want to be VP. He didn't want to be VP, but then at the same time you're saying that that maybe JMB should have reached out to him. I don't. If somebody is saying clearly that they don't want something, how do you? And I don't know what Ambassador Boyka has done, but what I'm saying is that again, somebody saying they don't want something, the person knows what they want, so the person is clear about it. So to answer the question for the third time or fourth time, the ALP will support anybody Ambassador Boyka picks to be his vice presidential candidate. We believe in Ambassador Boyka. We know that Ambassador Boyka will make the right decision, and we know very well that whatever decision he makes will be in the interest of the Liberian people. So we stand by him and we stand with him. If he decides to call Mr. Cummings, we're here.
So let me.
We're here.
So I just want to clarify before Kev come in and Jackie come in. The analogy I was giving you was, yes, Mr. Cummings is running for president. When Mr. Cummings when y'all got into this, when the CPP was formed, the CPP was formed for these parties to compete, right? For the four parties to go ahead and compete. You had a situation where the ALP and the Liberty Party said, we're not interested in the presidency. So Cummings and Boyka were the two people who said they were interested in the presidency. But just like how I like to give the example with Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, right? Kamala Harris never announced that she wanted. In fact, Kamala Harris jumped in the race, said she wanted to be president. When she dropped out of the race, she never mentioned that she wanted to be vice president. But guess what? Joe Biden picked up the phone and called her, and she agreed to be vice president. So that's the analogy. That's the route I was coming from. That yes, it is true. Cummings has said he doesn't want to be vice president, but it is also true that VP Boyka has never made an outreach to him to ask him to be his running mate. So I think that's the line in which, just from a clarity, I just wanted to provide that clarity. Keff Hassan, you can go ahead and come in.
Okay. Thank you, Chairman Ben. All of us are chairman now.
look out. Go ahead, Keff.
So, Telia, can you say at this moment that there is no talks between Cummings and JMB in terms of picking or going as VP?
Well, when I tell you all that we believe in JMB, because JMB is somebody that we see as a uniting figure, a humble figure, somebody that's always open to reconciliate, we mean that sincerely. I don't think that there has been a moment when JMB has closed the door to Mr. Cummings at any time, or any leader in Liberia for that matter. JMB is an open person. He's somebody that believes in peace, unity, and reconciliation, and always sees the best in people and wants the best for the country. So there is no situation where I would see Ambassador Boyka not meeting with Cummings, not talking to Cummings. That's what makes him a national political leader, a political father, a statesman. People will insult His Excellency, and he will be able to sit down at the table with him. So definitely, Mr. Clinton, he calls a friend and brother. I'm very sure that he will always continue talks with him and make a relationship with him. I can't say more than that.
Thank you.
So at this, so at this moment they are talking based on friendship, but not running mates.
I don't have any knowledge of him talking to Mr. Cummings as a running. No, I do not. But I do not believe that Ambassador Boyka is so close that he would not be open to a conversation with anybody. That I can speak on about his character.
So, Jackie, you want to come in? But T, before Jackie come in, I have a quick political question for you. As the Unity Party, the ANC, the opposition bloc, as they're trying to put their house together, picking VP picks. What are your thoughts? I'm reading something on the wires here that the PUP have decided to endorse President Weah. The other day, we saw the CDC signing another agreement with 6 other political parties, the PLP and all these other smaller political parties. Whatever happened to the alliance that the Unity Party and the ALP, because they were the 2 political parties that left the CPP, whatever happened to the alliance that you guys were working on? Because as we see, as it looks right now, the CPP is ANC and LP, and then there's the Unity Party, the ALP. So whatever happened to that alliance? You are vice chair for political affairs. This is your realm, right? This is your area. What has happened? Are you guys having conversations with other political parties? Is there going to be a collaboration? Is there going to be a coalition? Or is the Unity Party going to go into the election as the Unity Party and then you guys just support?
Well, as right now, we are in conversation with several political parties. We have been having meetings, we've been having conversations, and we're continuing to build a network of friendly parties and parties that we can look at forming alliances with. How the alliance will shape up, we don't know exactly how the structure of it will be. But one thing I can tell you is that we have a broad base of support from credible political parties across the country, strong political parties across the country, and their support for Ambassador Boyka is strong. And we continue to meet to find the right avenue, the right channel. Because you need to understand that there are other things that need to be considered. You need to consider the legislative piece, how to structure that. So before you go into any formal binding agreement with somebody, you need to make sure that's going to be one that sticks and not one that can speak the problems after. So we're working on all of the details of that. And very soon you will see that multiple parties will be formally coming to support His Excellency, including the ALP. So our support is more verbal. There's no agreement to that effect. But within due time to see us building all of those legal frameworks to be able to formalize our support for that. So all of this is in the works. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Jackie, you want to come in?
Yes, we're going to change course a little bit. Madam Chair, we just completed the first phase of the voter registration process. I want to know what your thoughts are about that as we go in, because the 21st, the second phase is supposed to start. What's happening on the ground? How do people feel about the voter registration process? Do we think, or do you think that we had the numbers? When I say number, that enough people turn out, that the people really turn out during phase one in the 6 different counties? Was it a low voter registration turnout? Was it what NEC expected? What are your thoughts about that and the entire process, including the 1.4 million numbers that just came out for phase one?
Well, I mean, I think we have spoken about the challenges that we have seen with the tech process. For example, the fact that they gave such a short period of time for people to come out to register, something that has not happened, I believe, in recent history of like this, you know. So it's almost like we're progressing on the technological side, but we're breaking, I would say, almost such procedures that are normally followed in electoral stuff. So you have 2 weeks for people to register, and how many people actually turned out to vote? The numbers are the same as 1.4. They still are saying that those are not actual numbers. They have to go back and they clean the form, which I don't understand how much cleaning will have to be done considering it's a biometric process, but this is what they're saying. The other thing that I think is not being highlighted enough, but it should be a serious concern to us, is that the biometric process is being done in the sense of the census information to demarcate states. So you could see textbook cases of just happening where they will cut some districts in a way that will favor some candidates, cut some other districts in a way that disenfranchise certain of the residents there. So it's something that we should be very concerned about. More time should have been given for voter registration. Then we're hearing about episodes of multiple registrations. I have studied the electoral process in Liberia to a certain extent. What we're doing is good, if we're advancing, but it also be very dangerous. One of the things that you will see us doing we go forward is that we'll call for some of the rudimentary processes to be up to. For example, on the day you get out to vote, you still put the ink on your finger. We see what has happened in other countries, for example, where they will say the biometric system is not working that day. And if they don't have any way of seeing whether somebody voted or not through the biometrics, somebody can easily vote 2, 3, 4 times using their voter ID card or another voter ID card. So we have to be very careful. While we want this advancement, this type of advancement, I think it's time that we start calling for certain things. For example, we have somebody like Floyd, who is who was the head of the data center when there was fraud. NEC itself ruled that there was fraud in the data center during my election, and he's still sitting on top of data. NEC board still has partisan members, people that are affiliated to CDC. The body is supposed to be independent. So we're going to be making a lot of calls for international observers, for access to data, so that we too can be confident that the electoral process and the data that's being given meets international standards, and that there's a level of transparency. So as we go into the stage of the voter's registration exercise, all I can say is just that from the beginning, it's flawed. So we shouldn't expect anything else going into the other phases. It's just now, what are we willing to do? How are we ready to correct some of the errors being made? That's the question, and that's why we're coming together as opposition parties. There's an opposition party working group that was formed. We've been meeting and we've been talking about how we're going to confront some of these electoral issues are next.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you, T. You have
follow-up question to that real quick, Ben, Madam Chair, is that I know there are consultative meetings, stakeholder meetings that NEC has on a regular basis with everybody, all the stakeholders, including the political parties. Has NEC shared the raw data with the political parties? Because they publish the cleanup data, but did they ever share, or did the stakeholders, including the political parties, ask for the raw data so that they can look and see what was adjusted for them to arrive at the 1.4 million figure that we have?
Well, we have not gotten access to the data. Yes, we are in a group that NEC formed. It's called the IPCC. But like I said, we have not been given access to the back end of the data. We will be requesting access to the back end of the data once they've gone through the cleanup process, because we're not going to, look at data that is not the final data that they're working with. So once they clean up process, we'll request our technicians get access to the back end data.
all right. Thank you, T. And we want to thank you. So what we're going to do at this point, I think it's like 6:45 here. So that's what, 10, is it 10:45 in Monrovia? Yeah, 10:45 in Monrovia. Let's go ahead and just, because we want to just, let's studio cam, we want to go ahead and just open the phone lines, because we've had some really, really difficult technical issues. So we don't want to keep you, but fascinating conversation. I think is going to be interesting. You're always welcome here. We know you are a panelist on another platform, but whenever you feel the need to come and help Jackie tackle Keff, because I think he seems to be very content today. I mean, I've never seen Keff this calm. He seems to be very, very calm today. So whenever you feel the need to come and put him in his place, you're always welcome. You just let us know you will come and join us as a guest panelist. We want to do, I know Meapeh was supposed to join us as a guest panelist today, but then they had technical issues in the studio in Monrovia with Tomalin. She and Tomalin are together, so we want to apologize to our listeners for us not being able to bring the both of them on. But you know how it is. I guess that what Keff they've been trying to fix for the last 6 years. They say they still haven't fixed this internet thing. But this is what it is. But it was a great conversation. So let's open the phone lines. We want to hear from the people. Let's let them talk about about what we've discussed. I know specifically it was the issue of the vice presidential pick that caught a lot of people's attention. You were very straight. You were very strong on your support, the ALP support for your partisan. What has Costa's position in the ALP? Is he doesn't hold a executive position yet, right? Does he?
No, he does not.
Oh, he doesn't. Okay, good. So so your support was, I mean, it was strong. You're very clear. You also stated, for the record, that whoever VP Buckeye picks, the ALP intend to stick with the vice president, the former vice president, and see this thing through. And then we talked about obviously you are exploring a possible run. You haven't made a decision yet, which, like I said, is good to know from my end. Because I thought you had already made that decision, but it's good to know that you're still thinking about it. And I would encourage you to get into the race. I will publicly say that. I think you should. I think there needs to be more people coming to this space. I think you were born to do this. You were right. I did give you that book. I didn't even remember. You just reminded me. And it's good to see you. It's good to see you. So, studio, let's open the phone lines. Let the people engage. Madam Chair, like she said, we're all chairmen now, chairpersons. Let the people engage, Madam Chair, and let's hear from the people. Studio, you want to come in and let's do that. Are you guys there or you're not there now? Okay, good. There they are.
Well, so thank you. And so to form part of the program, you can place your call to 086. That's 080 60 33 60, 0880 60 33 60, or 0775 60 33 60 are the numbers to call and form part of the show tonight. You can form part of the show by calling these numbers. We have as guest Miss Telia Urey from the All Liberia Party, and she's been providing her thoughts with regard to training issues and the VP picks of Ambassador Joseph Yema Boaka. So 0880 60 33 60, 0775 60 33 60 are the numbers to call and form part of the show. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, you're live. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Joseph and we calling from Carwell, sponsor community.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, let me say hello to Urey. She said whosoever they pick, they are willing to work with them, and I say thank you for that. But when it comes to the running mate issue, let's be clear here. Hello.
Yes, you're
Hello?
live. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, as I was saying,
Go
when it
ahead.
comes
Stop
to
listening to your monitor. Please
Listen
go
to the
ahead.
radio.
yeah, when it comes to the running mate issue, we know that Costa had, been with Urey all that time and what have you. But let me tell you, Costa is pretty seated now to get rid of Sir Joseph, Boswell County. We are going to get Sir Joseph Costa Boswell County, and no matter how it takes. But let it leave the paper, let you pick a running mate at least who can get rid of the nightmare in the country. Everybody coming from here, there, saying this, that is so confused. And for Telia should have been the next representative for the state number 15. By now, I was already packing to leave. But you see, sometimes we get problem with our own people because when we are speaking, we're going to speak to the people with clear mind. Telia King, Tony, they go on the by-election for the Lawrence. Telia King, a very fly color. She's a representative with for Telia left for this place here, at least one in the blue, three parts around. So at least we get
Thank
face to
you.
talk to our people.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, you're live. Go ahead. Hello? Good evening. You are live. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. We're listening to the issue of Madam Telia.
Go ahead,
Hello?
caller. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. You know, we listened to the issue of Madam Telia. I want to say thank you very much to her because we all are worried about the issue of the vice president picking a good vice president, especially someone. This is why a lot of talk is going on with the people. All the supporters of Mr. Boakai, he is having talk with them that everyone should feel satisfied because everyone can go in our place. But one thing I want to say, Mr. Costa is a fine gentleman. There have been a lot of opinion polls that have been conducted. Costa have won the opinion poll against Joseph. He is pretty seated and well seated for that position. And I believe that he just push, he will get that position. And a man shouldn't be swayed away to go to that particular area of being vice president.
Thank you. Good evening. Yes, you're live. Go ahead. Go ahead. You're live. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, you're live. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Smith Wulu, and I call from Bannersville this evening. Well, thank you so much for the show. It's a wonderful show, and I appreciate Telia Urey. For you guys, since the Supreme Court ruling in the case of the Liberty Party, you people have been able to call Musa Ability on the show. I think it would be necessary to invite Nyomli Kanka Lawrence as well. My question to Telia Urey, what are 6 qualities that you think is required of a running mate for presidencies in this country, like Bureau or anywhere in the world? Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Yes, you're live. Go ahead. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much for picking my call. My name is Mohammed M. Sharif Jr., and I am the chairman of the Telia Urey Media Team, and I'm also the National Assistant Secretary General for Press and Information of the ALP Regenerative Youth League.
Go ahead, quickly.
And I call you currently from my Kawa resident. In fact, I'm en route. You know, tonight I am seriously intrigued and I'm mesmerized by the clarifications and the analysis made by my leader. But I want to, speak to a point that Ben Sanvee raised about Mr. Cummings being considered for vice running mate. You know, like Ben rightly said, Mr. Cummings was very clear and emphatic that the issue of vice running mate to JMB is not something that he can consider. So whatsoever Mr. Benedict and Martin Sekula is saying that they will consider it if JMB calls upon them, it is just a publicity stunt. They should, in fact, continue focusing on what they are doing, trying to blackmail Nyomli Kanga Lawrence and Senator Dillon to support Alexander Cummings, in exchange for vice running mate, or if they do not consider, maybe they will expel them from the party.
Thank you.
So let them continue with that politics and forget about JMB calling on Mr. Cummings, to go as vice running mate to him. I think that Mr. Honorable Boakai is very much concerned with picking the right person. And like my leader rightly said, I'm from the ALP and we support Henry Costa to the fullest. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good evening.
Hello?
Yes, you're live.
Hello?
Go ahead, you're live. Go ahead.
Hello?
Well, it seems this caller is not ready.
Unknown call.
Good evening.
Good evening, and good evening to our panelists. I'm Stephen Cover calling from Jalastan District 8, and I want to say hi to my chair in studio, Madam Telia Urey. I just want to add on to what she has said because she spoke very well. And the issue of JMB picking or running mate lie within his wisdom. I don't think any Liberian will influence him to choose who to serve as his running mate. And people shouldn't try to procrastinate when it comes to JMB and Kumi ticket because this is something that is not on the table. This was one of the reasons that the CPU did not hold. I can retrospect, there was a time Honorable Ben Urey was on the Costa show. He said when the CPP was together, they make it emphatically clear that the ALP and the Liberty Party did not have interest in the vice tenant barrel position, but rather they asked Honorable Kumi to humbly serve that position and he declined. So Kumi Bwaka ticket is just a party to prolong Bwaka from picking his running mate. So
Thank you. Good evening. Good evening, caller.
Good evening. How are you?
Go ahead. Stop listening to the monitor. Go ahead.
Okay, my name is Jusu Kamara. I call you from looking to resident.
Let's hear you, Jusu.
So I didn't start the conversation initially, but I got a quick question for Miss Urey in the studio. There was a concern in the district about her coming back to the district to contest. We want to know whether she will be a candidate for the upcoming election.
Thank you. Good evening.
Hello.
Yes, you're live. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm Imogen Bono, calling from
Go ahead.
a Tact member from the Stellas Marie Polytechnic University. Let me say good evening to my chairperson, Madam Telia Urey. When it comes to the vice presidential pick, I stand with her saying that anyone GMB takes, we will work in line with them. We don't care whoever, but then we want to deliver our country as well.
Thank you.
Hello? Come on.
Let him finish your thought. You know, just give him a minute. Let him finish the thought.
Good evening.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, go ahead. You're live. Go ahead.
Hello?
Go ahead. You are live. Stop listening to the device. Go ahead.
My name is Samuel Johnson. I'm calling from Chocolate City this evening.
Okay.
Let me say good evening to Ben Sanvee, Keff Hassan, Dr. Peabody. Let me say what's up to you. Long time since you left in the spoon evening. I haven't spoken on the show. Well, however, tonight I'm on the show, right?
Go ahead. You're live. Go ahead.
Okay.
Thank you. We miss you too.
You're very, very good this evening. For me, I'm coming from a different side of the story concerning Hon Costa. We all know that we need a new generation change. But for the step of Hon Costa to pick up from the past president race to a new generation change, for me, I'm not looking at it that way. At least he can come from the senator position or the representative position as in grow in government. He become wise in government. Not because he can pull people, he can be vice president. For me, I'm not looking at it that. So I'm just telling you, if it's more confident to him, you can start from somewhere. Not for vice presidency. Let me say big thank you. Ben Sanvee, Keff Hassan, and
Good evening. Good evening.
Hello?
Yes, you're live. Go ahead. Hello?
Yeah, hello?
Yeah, go ahead. You're live.
Yeah, my name is Noel Miles Cooper. I'm calling from Lower Louisiana. I want to ask your studio guest in the studio there with you. Why our platform finishing they may win for the election? And my second question to you, the 23 political parties, why are they waiting for to saturate all their candidates? Why the Costa, everybody will want for everybody to come now. And one thing I want to ask you, that everybody in the whole country will vote in the country, that everybody will be participate in the election. So that everybody get the election commission, anything they get, we're looking for it 51% above. Nobody will get it 51%, any information the election commission bring, all waiting for. No, the other people that are voted register, we are on for the office that is the region all over. or would I go for the go for the ever for the
Thank you. Hello? 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 Hello?
Hello?
Yes, you are live. Good evening.
We do that the last.
Caller, you are live. Hello?
Okay, that's it. Let's wrap it up. We got to run.
Hello?
All right, thank you, Ace.
So Ben, let's take this last person. Hello?
Okay, take the last one.
Yeah,
No
quickly.
problem.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead quickly. Go ahead.
There is actually Malay, a member of the Telia team, and I call you from a call resident. Not to procrastinate your time, quickly, let me say hi to my honorable, my mentor in studio, Honorable Telia G. Urey. I really do appreciate the fact that you addressed the issue you spoke of a man. You just spoke exactly to the point. But I want to also acknowledge the fact that please, for the sake of God, do not forsake us because you are the only one we are depending on to redeem the district. You are the only one. Please do not forsake us. See with this message tonight. Please do not forsake us. I've been praying on these every day, every night. Because we understand where it's actually growing our district and we don't let the trust our district is taking on the screens. I will ban camera. Please, madam, for the sake of the supporters and for the sake of the district and for your people, please do not forsake us. Please join the race and rescue the district from the inside of Bana camera. Thank you.
Well,
All
thank
right.
you. So, Chairman,
Thank you.
there you have
Thank
it.
you, Ace. Thank you very much. I think the calls, yeah, and we want to reiterate until we can get a
Liberia,
U.S.
and it was all local calls coming in.
Okay, good. All right. Until we want to reiterate, until we can get a local line, folks in the diaspora, you can also go ahead and save these numbers, and it's on WhatsApp, and you can call. We're working on getting a local line very, very soon. Sometimes maybe next week or so, there will be a local US number that people can be able to call. I probably would just take something like that to take it to to Liberia and leave it with the guys in the studio. That way they can have access to it, or maybe one of us here will have access to it. But T, you listen to the callers. There was a mixture of people appealing to you to run, and then obviously folks had their thoughts on the VP picks. I think there were some folks who felt that Henry should begin in the Liberian Senate. I think, for the record, I think he still says that he's running for the Senate. At least the last time I heard, the last statement that I heard from him, he mentioned that he was still a candidate for the Senate, and that his being considered for the vice presidency was not something he was running for. So I think that's just the thought process there. But what are your thoughts on what you heard from the callers, and then so we can get to you doing your closing also.
Well, I mean, on the issue of the VP selection, I think we're all one, okay? We're all a part of this JMB movement together. We all have our collective goal, which is to make JMB the next president of Liberia. We may have our differences about who the VP pick should be, but at the end of the day, I think that what we have seen is that everybody has so much regard and so much respect and so much trust in Ambassador Boyka that whoever he selects, we're ready to rally around that person and work with that person to ensure that we reach our collective goals. So some people may not believe in Henry Costa for whatever reasons that they have. It is their right. So we protect people's rights, and for me especially, I am in a unique position. I'm not only an ALP executive that supports an ALP partisan vying for this post. I am also the chairperson of the JMB Tact team, and under me
there are many people that do not support Henry Costa, and that does not make us any further apart from what we're collectively working. So I just want to continue to encourage everybody to keep an open mind, keep an open heart, and let's keep ourselves focused, and let's trust and believe in the leader that we all chose to follow. And with that, we know that we'll stay united and we will work collectively and hard for our goals. On the issue of, I heard some of the people from my district call in, and like I said to you, it's an honor to even be in this position, to be called on by supporters to want to represent them in the district. I don't take it lightly. I look at it as a privilege to be in this position, and also a huge privilege to be able to serve the district. We have a responsibility to the district to ensure that we have proper leadership in the district, to ensure that Abu Kamara does not see another day past inauguration day when the new representative is sworn into office. I'm committed to that. I am not, whether I don't confess, I am 100% committed to doing what is necessary to deliver the district. And I hear people saying that, oh, I'm not engaged and I'm not there, but people don't know that all of the work you do, it doesn't have to be put on blast. Yes, I've been out of the country. I've been living in Nigeria, working on projects in Nigeria, but my presence is felt throughout communities in the district. I educate over 400 students in the district. From my election up until now, I've sponsored over 700 students. I continue to do it on a daily basis. I carry out initiatives in the district, activities in the district, and I'm well rooted and well connected to the district. Whether I run or not, whether I'm representative or not, that commitment stands. I will stand with my people in the district, and I will ensure that our collective interest in the district is protected. So everybody can rest assured that this fight that we're in, it's not a fight for Telia, it's a fight for all of us, and to be committed to that fight.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And listen, I think agree with you, disagree with you. There is a fact is that you are a rising star. I don't think you've reached even your level. I don't think you have even arrived yet, right? I'm proud of you. I will say it. I'm extremely proud of you. You've done well for yourself. Even though me and you still got a fuss to make because you've abandoned me over the last couple of months, but it's okay. It's okay. We're not, like I said, we're not gonna run out. We're not gonna wash our dirty laundry in the public. Yeah, we will fix that trouble. But I'm so proud of you, and I thank you for what you have done and what you continue to do. Like I said, there have been roller coasters when it comes to me and you, right? Sometimes we agree on certain things, sometimes we're supporting certain things, sometimes we're not supporting certain things, sometimes we cut a speech from each other because we're not supporting that certain thing. But it's been an amazing, and I'm just proud to call you a sister. I think you have done well for yourself. And it's going to get interesting. It's going to get interesting. I maintain to this day, I maintain what I said. I think Henry Costa deserves to be in this conversation, and any other Liberian deserves to be. The decision on who Vice President Joe Boyka will pick is his decision. Nobody is going to force him to pick anybody he doesn't want to pick. And we will wait to see. That decision is going to be made sooner than later, and we will wait to see. That's why the closing argument is here. As chair of the JMB Tact team, we'll be looking forward. I mean, we got Jackie here. We'll be looking forward to the former vice president coming here to make his closing argument. That is the intention of this platform. The intention of this platform is not to live. We're not interested in opening radio stations. And no, we are interested in hearing our candidates, providing a balanced platform for them to come here. We've sent out a message over to all of the candidates, and we're hoping that they will come here. So I'll give you a chance to close. And then I don't know if the guys got anything else to say, but we'll give you a chance to close. And then when you leave, we'll probably kind of give our overview of what we thought about the whole interview. And we thank you for accommodating us on the phone since we had issues with the internet. But go ahead with your closing, team.
Thank you, Ben. And everything that you said is mutual. I am so proud of you as well. I'm also so proud of you all for putting this platform together under these circumstances in such a short period of time. From the growth of the platform, we know that you all have been and continue to do something right. I personally I don't think I felt this much at home on any of these panels as I do here with you all. You all are people that I know that when I'm on a platform with you, I'm here for a healthy conversation. My views will be protected, and you would give us the level of respect that we will require and we would like to have the show. So I just want to say congratulations, and I wish you all the best. I hope that the show will continue to grow, and I hope your audience will continue to grow. And I just pray for God to bless you all and continue to give you all the wisdom, the direction that in all of your collective journey.
Thank you, and we will. I'll be there this weekend. Are you in country, right? You're not leaving. Okay,
Yeah.
great. So we'll get a chance to see, and we'll make the plow and we'll fix the plow when I see you.
And I'm waiting for Keff and Dr. Peabody to come through. Dr. Peabody, who has been such a strong supporter of mine, and I'm so grateful to him. He's always so kind, so supportive. Dr. Peabody, thank you so much. And you on this show, you're always the balancing act.
And you know, Kev, that your old CDC brother now. You know, Kev, that your old CDC brother.
No, I supported your dad the last election. I was there. I was running campaign with him.
Kev, you heard her? I think she was asking.
What she said? I'm not. What she said?
Register to vote. You can register to vote. You're asking you register to vote.
Well, you know what I miss? Cassava leaf fusion. I miss that food. I tell you, I eat cassava leaf.
Yeah, Kev couldn't stop talking about that cassava leaf fusion. He couldn't stop talking about that cassava leaf fusion.
I'll find a cassava leaf for you when you come. So just hurry up and start coming.
No problem.
Thank you. Thank you so much, T. Thank you again. Bye. Guys, I thought it was a fascinating conversation with her. You know, T is a firebrand. Everybody's not gonna agree with her, right? She has her own independent thoughts. I'm exceptionally excited that she's made a decision, that she still has not made a decision on whether she wants to run or not. My gut feeling tells me that she possibly will run. You know, and I think it's good. Competition is good. I know Keff is going to disagree. I think Keff is going to say that that his candidate Abu is going to beat T. But listen, I think T is a force to be reckoned with. Like I said, the vice president during her birthday petitioned this portrait of permanent Liberian women. Some of them, you know, who were in the past, some of them in the present, and T is right there. She's right there. She's on that portrait. So she's a young woman who I believe is going places, and I've seen. And is yet to see her potential. I know there's a lot of contention right now in our political space. So a lot of people don't agree with some of the things that she said. But I think once the political season is over, we get a chance to appreciate one another. But guys, I thought it was a fascinating conversation. We want to apologize once again to Meapeh Gono. And she's our guest. She was supposed to be our guest panelist that couldn't make it on because of internet issues in the country. Tomalin himself couldn't get on. They were trying to call me, but there was no way I could have answered the call. That means I would have taken T off because many people don't even realize that she was on the show on the telephone. She just had her video. On. But I just want to say, listen, I thought it was a great conversation. Great conversation. I think everything that was said.
But Ben, you know what I disagree with Telia. We don't see politics the same. I disagree with Eric Costa. I know in District 15, the elections, she tried twice with Abu. The first one, neck cancer. The second one, Abu had bigger win than the first one. Hey, but one thing I admire from T, she did not go into those lies. You know, oh, 20 people die in that corner, all this. She went straight to the issue. She talked about the issue. She talked about Buckeye. She talked about Aaron Costa, what she feel, and she went straight to the point, not even trying to play games around. Straight, she just shoot to the point, not listen to some other people who will come with this story, that story. She went straight to the point. So I think she had a good show, a good day today on the show. She spoke well. I disagree with her, but I think I, I sense a very, very. I think that's the way we should go. What I'm saying from there, I think we should go that direction and sell your guy, but don't lie to the people in the way that some other people think. I think she had a very good show.
Thank you, Kev. Thank you. And Dr. Peabody, you want to come in?
You know, not only Telia,
Talk about
Martin
Buckeye. She talked about roller coaster. What she. We're hearing. Thank you, Kev. Thank you. And Dr. Peabody, you want to come in? Who's we're hearing a feedback?
Somebody.
I think
Not only, Reverend Martin always use a word, vivacious. She's not only exciting, attractive, but this a lady who knows exactly what she wants. Intelligent. She spoke brilliantly here today. And I hope she gets back in the race, because the last race was marred with a lot of violence and all of that, and she still had the courage to run. I wouldn't have done it as a male, because it was just too much going on, even when she almost lost her life. But she came back and she was strong, but it motivated her to the next level. And we see some of the things that she's doing now. I hope she gets back in the race. We'll support her. But with all that being said, Henry Costa has worked. If anybody say that Henry Costa cannot be vice president because he's young or because he did, I would disagree with you. I think Henry Costa is as qualified as anybody to be the vice president of our country. And I don't know what vice president pick, President Waka pick is going to be, but I think Costa worked hard. He served it. He was the voice of that party at one point. The entire Unity Party, everybody was in why now, when he's maybe on the list to be vice president, then we come up with all these I think it will be the really disservice to Costa. I think he's a great man. He's smart, eloquent, educated. He got everything, so let's see what happens. I'm looking forward to that pick, but I think Talia brought a lot of tangible to the show here tonight, and we just want to thank her for coming on the show and wish her all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Peabody. I think Jackie is having some issues with her today. Has just been, but we pulled it through. Like we all, we pulled it through. There were some issues. We just could not wait to have this show. I want to thank all of you for following. Thank all of our supporters. Those of you who have stuck it through. You didn't get frustrated with the internet situation. We want to thank you for sticking it through. I will say this though. Too often we allow our politics to define who we are rather than us defining what our politics should be. And until we get to the place in our politics where we understand that our disagreements don't mean we have to demean each other, That our disagreements don't mean that we are enemies. That no matter what happened, we are all Liberians. I am entitled to my opinions as much as you are entitled to your opinions. I'm not entitled to my fact. The fact is the fact, though. But I've seen and I've consistently said it over and over. I see a lot of people who tend to take politics so personal to the extent that they lose their sense of identity and who they are. When an election is only for a season, but the people who are going to be governing will be governing for a tenure. So I will say this, that as we get into the rumble jumble of the next couple of months, it is going to get a little more rugged. There are going to be people who are going to get into their feelings. There are going to be people who are going to get into all these different, all these different things that they have made up in their mind because people are passionate about their respective candidates. And they have a right to be passionate about their respective candidates. But what our job will be here, it will be to bring the players. They will go ahead. They will make their case. We call it here the closing argument for a reason, because we believe this is where they will come to go ahead and make this argument and leave it up to the Liberian people. Leave it up to the Liberian people. There, according to the National Elections Commission, Dr. Peabody, 1.4 million Liberians have registered to vote. At least that's the number we have so far.
Right.
That number will increase, not may, it will increase because there are 9 other counties that are about to go into phase 2. I'm excited to say that I'm going to be one of those Liberians. I'm going to go home over the weekend and I will register to vote. I will make my voice heard. But what I will also say is that I will not do politics the way people think that I should do politics. I will do politics the way I believe within my soul I should do politics, because my conscience will guide me. This election is only for a season. It's only for a season. These politicians will get elected. They will still be friends. And I'm urging all of you, those of you who are in Radio Land, those of you who are in Liberia, who are going through the pain and the suffering, is that in the end, make a sound decision based on your life and what you want to see for your country. Don't base it on conspiracy theories and lies. Don't base it on the politics of anything goes. Don't base it on the politics of slicing and dicing. That's why, Dr. Peabody, one thing we're known for? We stand up when we have to stand up. When we were on our former network, when the case was brought against Cummings, we stood up.
Exactly.
We stood up.
Yes, exactly.
We're on record. But guess what? At the end of the day, Liberia is the only country that we have. That's the reason Mr. Cummings wants to be president. That's the reason Joe Boyka wants to be president. That's the reason Joe Weah wants to be president. That's the reason why Clarence Monimba wants to be president, and Telia Gonglo and everybody else who wants to be president. But we make a commitment on this platform that this platform will not be one where people will come to peddle lies, gossip, and conspiracy theories. We will not accept it.
Exactly.
We're not looking for ratings. We're not looking for the excitement. We're looking for the truth. And so, guys, I thought it was a fascinating conversation. We look forward to Friday. We look forward to having more. There's conversations. I think Rufus Nouvel or somebody, we're either going to make an announcement tomorrow or so who will be our guest on Friday. We will bring the players here and they will come to make their closing argument. Thank you, guys. I thought it was great. Studio, Haisen, you want to come? I want to thank, what's his name? Hot FM. No, not here. I know he on the screen, so I know what he said. Hot FM, we want to thank you for relaying us. I want to thank Puma FM. Oh, Monday, the team and I, Tomalin, all of us, will be in Bombing. We'll be in Bomi County on Monday. We'll be doing the show from Puma FM. We'll be with Senator Edwin Melvin Snow. I can announce that he will be with us on Monday. We're going to spend the whole day in Bomi on Monday. We're going to go around. We're going to get a chance to talk to.
You got me want to fly to Maria, man. You got me
come, man, because we killing. Edwin Snow said he's killing a whole goat for us. He said he's
Oh
killing a
my
whole.
goodness.
He said he's going to roast a whole goat and he's going to kill
Yeah,
a
but
whole
y'all
goat.
see that. Y'all see that already. Y'all see that.
Yeah,
So let me
we're gonna be with Edwin Snow on Monday. It's gonna be an interesting conversation with Edwin Snow. We're gonna do some fun things, and then hopefully, with the team is gonna fire. We're gonna go to Nimba. You know, we're also gonna be in Nimba with Chairman Billete and his team. We're gonna make this thing exciting. This is not gonna be your regular talk show where people kind of just peddle conspiracy and just want lie and talk foolishness. We are not interested in that. We are interested in bringing the players for the players to come and make the closing argument. And he said, thank you for holding it down for us. And we said, thank you to the KMTV guys. Thank you guys for making this thing work, man. I know it got a little contentious when the thing kept going off, but yeah, thank you as always. And we look forward to seeing you guys on Friday. With that being said, I say thank you and we sign out. Thank you guys.
Friday, free on Friday.
Well, thank you. Thank you, folks. Thanks for watching KMTV and listening via Hot FM and Puma FM in Bomi County. Well, we want to say thanks to the station manager, Meloshi Rabo, there in Bomi County. Till we come your way on Friday, I want to say have yourself a good evening. My name is Aisha Ndiba Foy on behalf of the entire team here at KMTV Liberia. Thanks for watching.